Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Welcome, Teri Connor.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here. Good morning.
Good morning. Great to have you here. Yeah, thank you for bringing over some samples for me to wear for this podcast today.
I think you look fantastic. I think you've got some co-branding going on there.
Absolutely.
You can easily mix and match and create your own style.
Yep. Yeah, we've got Real Legends on top and we've got RB3 on the bottom.
I think that's just super exciting, and you don't just have to have the Garanimals where you wear Real Legends top to bottom.
Right.
You can create your own you.
Absolutely. My authentic self.
Your authentic self. I love it.
Yeah. So I have to say, and this isn't just a shameless plug, super comfortable, super comfortable. Like the fabric, the work that we're doing, the innovation that we're doing in fabric is really showing, because I want to wear these all day and I want to go to sleep in them as well.
Well, I think that you can. They're yours now.
Okay. Awesome. I will pay for them, just so everybody knows. Okay, awesome. Yeah, well, welcome. So you are in charge of exclusive brands for us. Other people might call them private brands, but could you introduce yourself for the audience?
Absolutely. Well, I'm Teri Connor, and I oversee our product development team, exclusive brands, and product development. Just to give you a little bit about what I do, I have an incredible team. I think I have the best job in the company, Matt. I really do, because I get to enjoy the art and the science of creating product.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, and product development is really like, if you want to build it, they will come. That's kind of what we do. Highly collaborative position, working with internal partners, external partners. We have incredible teams of designers and sourcing managers, but really it's about the end game, and it's delivering the product to the guest that the guest is going to enjoy. And we listen to our guests and we study the market, and we have the capability of doing specialized, localized, unique, curated assortments that's great for what our customers' activities are going to be, whether it's outdoor activities, like you're ready for the outdoor, you're ready to go hiking, or you're ready for the gym.
Yeah, it's perfect actually for outdoor.
Exactly.
I had your job for a couple of years actually. So so when I was chief merchant of Bealls, Florida, I oversaw exclusive brands for our team.
Okay.
And oversaw exclusive brands when I was president for Bealls, Florida too. So it was really like 2016, 2017 through 2020.
Okay.
And it was, like you said, you have the best job in the company.
It is. It's
so
fantastic.
Much fun. It's so much fun. Yeah, to create and to innovate with fabrications, and to try to. You're working overseas. You're working with domestic partners.
Right.
You're actually able to create. You're working with the artists that we have in house. I want to talk about a little bit about them at some point, because they do such a tremendous job. We got such a talented group of people in house here. But good. So you joined us. When did you join us?
Oh, I joined us back in 2018.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's been a great journey. I was actually born and raised in Florida, and I'm a Gator. Go Gators! And through mergers and acquisitions, I ended up moving away from Florida to Georgia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and just recently found my way back. Super glad to be back in the Sunshine State. It feels like home. It feels like I never left. And I just, have an incredible team that I work with, and I'm very fortunate. I'm blessed.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Awesome. Okay. So you want to, how do you want to kick this thing off? I want to teach the audience as much as we can possibly learn about, how the product creation and what we do here, and how we bring product to life from start to finish.
Right.
Yeah, it's got to be unique and special.
Well, it's a funny story, because when I first entered into product development, I didn't grow up as a product development person. I grew up in retail, but after graduating, went into a retail program, became a buyer, worked through my career through buying, worked through planning. And then again, they said, "Hey, how would you like product development?" I'm like, "Sure, what's product development?" And they're like, you make the clothes that we put onto the floor, and you source the products that go into our home store." And I'm like, that sounds cool. And, I don't know what my idea was at the time of what product development was, but it probably went something like this. You get a needle, a thread, some buttons, some material, you throw it in a mixing bowl, bake it in the oven for 350, and out pops a dress. Like that was probably, closer to what my interpretation of product development was. But it's an incredible journey, and it's really creating something from concept to finish. And it's a very rewarding position. Working collaboratively with a lot of different teams. it rocks.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
rocks. So let's go through kind of what the
Let's do
process
it.
is in product development.
Perfect.
I said before, it's kind of like an art and science combination. So we start with art. We start with the creation. So what's the vision? What's the idea? What's the white space on the floor? What does the consumer want? And how we kick off each season is we build the vision through a global trends presentation. And our design team works very closely with market research. We have color strategists that we work with. We have trend services that we work with. We travel to New York. We travel overseas to get, the latest update on what's going to be trending from a color perspective and what's happening in the world that's influencing fashion. And how does that translate to our guest, right?
And this process happens with every one of our exclusive brands. So from start to finish, as you begin to map out the exclusive brands in the process, and you're doing the same process with each of our brands. And could you, before you continue, could you touch a little bit on our key exclusive brands that we have within the store right now?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Well, for Bealls Florida, we have over 30 exclusive brands. And some of our top brands include Real Legends. They include Coral Bay. We have active brands, Breezus and RB3. You're wearing the RB3 pants right now.
Super comfortable.
Yeah, and your Real Legends top.
Real Legends, Florida's #1 fishing brand.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. Great outdoor performance. Yes.
Yep.
And our customer loves Real Legends. We also have a fantastic golf program, ladies golf. We have Coral Bay Golf, and we have Lily Green Golf. In men's, we have Golf America. We're continuing to grow and expand on these businesses. We have sportswear brands like Tackle and Tides. In our home division, we have some amazing brands like Zest. We'll talk about that later. That's a new launch. Coastal Home. And Core Essentials. And some of the other brands that we're continuing to evolve and update, and I want to get into this later with you, is like a Chubby Mermaids. What is a Chubby Mermaid?
Yeah.
Chubby Mermaids, Maori Hook, Loco Scales. These are some amazing brands that really cater to the Florida lifestyle, whether it's performance, whether it's golf, outdoor, fishing, hiking, going to the gym, or this is just my athleisure wear. It's a casual lifestyle, and we have all of these brands that can cater to the unique needs for our guests.
Yeah, and you try to make the brands fit the Florida, and then there's not one Florida lifestyle. So
right.
we live life local is really our motto, and you're trying to create fabrications and brands that will allow people to live life local within the state of Florida, to be comfortable, to be confident, to have the right technical features and the right performance features to be able to really deal with all the elements of the state of Florida. But it's not just Florida, of course, but with the Bealls Florida business, all of those stores are obviously in the state of Florida. So they feel like they know their markets pretty well in Florida and how to deal with the elements for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So good. Excellent. Okay. What percentage of the total stores sales volume is now coming from you?
For Bealls, we're at 25%, growing to 30% very quickly.
25 today
total
in Bealls in Bealls, Florida.
Correct.
Okay, and on the Bealls side, I know it's much smaller. But
it's smaller. It's about 5%.
5% there. Okay. Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. Yeah, and good. Yeah, why don't we continue on?
Sure. So once we get through the global trends and we create an ambiance of what our top 5 picks are going to be, then we really dig into color. And the color is a science because we use trend services like WGSN and Coloro and Pantone. And, sneak peek into next year, the WGSN and Coloro have designated Midnight Plum as the color for next year. So very exciting, a very rich, deep, dreamy plum. So these colors go back to the trends, and we actually incorporate these specific colors and key colors into our assortment. So you see some colors here, and you're going to see them again as we start to design and build our line.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cute.
And then one of my favorite trends that we are embracing is called Rewind Replay. And what this trend is all about is it's focusing on the Zennial customer. That is a blend of the millennial and the Gen Z. And it's about maximalism. It's about flamboyance. It's retro play. It's about looking back in time, and it's not just any particular time. It's reflecting and appreciating the past and creating your own authentic you for today and putting your own spin on it. So if you'd like, we actually have a little video that talks a little bit more in depth about rewind, replay, if we want to play that.
Let's do it.
Sure.
Rewind, replay.
And incidentally, our own product development design team created this video.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice,
so
nice.
all of this is created in-house. The other things that you're going to see is just mixing and matching of your own style. Checkerboards are coming back. You think of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
Lots of creative geoprints, bold colors. I'm definitely a sneaker person. Those are my favorite tennis shoes. I have many pairs of those. And it's just reflecting on a time that maybe the Zennials weren't part of, but appreciating that time and bringing, fashions change and times change. And what I think is really cool about rewind, replay, if you think of a big Ferris wheel, fashions come in and fashions go out. And on that Ferris wheel, you just need to know when the right time is to pull that particular fashion off. And I think rewind, replay, you're pulling a bunch of different fashions off,
Yeah.
And I think our guests can really appreciate and connect with that, whether you're a Zennial or not. I'm not a Zennial, and I think rewind, replay is awesome.
Yeah. How do you feel like we do with getting that message out to the guests? I mean, there's a tremendous amount of thought and there's a tremendous amount of just effort that goes into creating these lines, and they're all cohesive and they're all beautiful together and they all have a theme and they have ideas behind them. How do you feel like we do? Where do you see opportunity with us being able to tell that story to the guests to let them know about the trends that we do have within the business?
Right. I think it's a great challenge, and I do think that that's an opportunity for us to have unique ways to create that megaphone. I've been working very closely with our marketing partners and our e-com team, and we've made some recent changes to our digital footprint to try to help create that brand awareness and what we're bringing to the store, so that our guests know what to look for when they come in, to help bring them in and say, here's a fashion opportunity and a solution for you, whether it's for your home or whether it's for your wardrobe. We've got some great opportunities for you that we think are going to make your lifestyle, much happier. And it's a self-reflection of yourself, an expression of being able to identify with your own uniqueness, and maybe you've got some performance features in there too. We can definitely tell when the customer comes to the store and they see something and they're like, that's it. Like in our Dot and Zazz program, we get very excited when we come in and we see the graphic tees that are selling. We can tell we have Larry the Lizard in his Jeep or in his monster truck that they really gravitate to immediately. So you see the best sellers. That's the best part of the job, is coming in on a Monday and looking at what hits the flash sales and looking at the best sellers up top, because that's how our customer has their voice. Our guest speaks to us through that top line sales. So I do think that there's an opportunity for us to continue to educate and get our message out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So continuing on with the development and the design process and our global trends. I think what you're about to see here is a video clip of our artists actually at work. So we don't just create the trend and the color palette, we actually create the artwork that goes into, whether it's a garment or a stainless steel cup or a beach bag. And we just have some very talented artists
really
that
do.
have an incredible scope of their adaptability to creating art and different techniques. Some of these techniques, as you can see, are done with markers. Some are done with watercolors. This is an alcohol technique. We even had a workshop recently where some of our artists used a hairdryer to blow paint around on a canvas, and it creates like a wave. So just fantastic creativity, and our guests definitely vote yes for this.
Some of the stuff that the artists are doing now on the cups that we're producing are just incredible.
Oh, I
mean,
know.
the artwork is just amazing.
I know. And again, it's so diverse. We'll talk about that in just a bit, but the ability to go from something that's truly abstract, to something that's, you're like, is that Salvador Dali?
Right.
or is this, or something that's very, we just had a grand opening at Lake Okeechobee with our Real Legends store, and we created some unique artwork just for Lake Okeechobee, and our guests definitely said yes to what we created, and it gives us the opportunity to really target a unique guest and give them what's special to them. They can connect. It's connecting with the product.
Yeah, for sure. How many in-house artists do we have now?
We have 5 in-house artists. Yeah, 5 in-house artists, and we have, I should say we have 5, but we also have designers that have artistic capabilities. So specific artists that are in our team are 4, I should say, specifically on the art team. But I expand that because we have several designers who are very creative and have that artistic capability as well. The designers are the ones that curate and create and build the line. They're the ones that are comp shopping. They're the ones that are have their finger on the pulse of what's happening. They understand the guests better than anybody, whether it's the Coral Bay customer or the Real Legends customer or our Dot and Zaz customer. We have designers that really dial into who that guest is, and some of them are also very talented artists as well.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
So
and
as
Dot and Zaz, you mentioned a couple of times, that's our children's brand.
That's our youth brand,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. Real Legends on men's and on the ladies' side.
Men's, ladies, and youth.
And kids, right.
Mm-hmm. And Coral Bay is our ladies' brand.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
And we have it in sportswear as well as in ladies' golf.
Yep. And we launched Dot and Zaz just a couple of years ago, 2 years ago.
Right. I think we launched Dot and Zaz in 2022.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. Brand new brand for the company.
Yep.
So as we continue in the product development process, I mentioned it's the art and the science.
Right.
And really the art and the science exist in both sides of our house. I have a design team, sourcing and production team. But in our sourcing and production world, this is really the architects of the garment. They're our negotiators. We go overseas. This is like an international buyer, so to speak. So they take the collaborative efforts from the design team, and we work domestically with certain partners, and we go overseas and work with factories direct. Our objective is to get the best value equation, the best cost, with the best product, so that we can extend that to our audience, basically. Right. And what we're looking at here in this particular slide is we actually go to factories. We want to make sure that
it's a nice
we have
factory. Is that a swimming pool?
Well, it's very fortunate when you go overseas. You'll see a lot of the factories have water out front because that's good luck.
Got it.
That's good fun. That's good fortune. It's flowing, and they want to make sure that that the factory is blessed with good luck. So sometimes you just have a water pool out front with a fountain in it, or maybe even not a fountain, and it's there designed to represent good fortune.
Yeah. Thailand was my favorite overseas trip while
right?
working in product development. Yeah, it was just beautiful. Such a beautiful country. But
it is.
How often do you go overseas now?
Well, we usually go overseas about 4 times a year.
Okay.
We're up to 3 right now. And I think by the time we get, past Christmas, we'll be back on track again. With COVID happening, that definitely put a little bit of a unique spin on our ability to negotiate face to face.
Right.
But this year we started traveling again in January. We were one of the first retailers that we work with our agents and our factories, and they're like, "You're the first that's come overseas." So we were very excited in January to be traveling again, and we went to countries like Indonesia and Cambodia and Vietnam and Singapore, and it was just such a warm welcome. It was like a homecoming again. It's like when you go away for college and you come home and you're like, "Oh, thank God I'm home right now."
Right.
And it really was just such a great welcome overseas. We have incredible business partners, and they know that we're coming to the factories. We're looking at factories. We want to make sure that the factories are socially compliant with our standards. This is part of our ESG and our sustainability initiative to ensure that our workers are paid properly, that they have fair wages, that they have good working conditions, and that the environment is safe, and that they are well within the guidelines, if not better, than what the labor laws require. So, and that's very important to us. So as we move to the factories, and when you go overseas and you're traveling, it's not like just going to New York and having rush hour traffic and you have taxis and Ubers, blinking their lights and sounding off their horns. You have other interesting rush hour traffic.
Bulls.
Yeah, we have bulls that cross the street. What you're looking at here, I'm actually in a van. I'm not in that cute little funky vehicle there. It's called an auto rickshaw, and that really is a form of transportation. This is in India. And
That's so cool.
what's fantastic about this is you just never know what you see. It's a surprise every time. And again, this is why I say that the job is just fantastic, because your eyes are open to the whole world. The world seems very small after you've been exposed to an international business experience. So we go overseas, we go from the hotel to the factory, and this is what our rush hour looks like. And sometimes bulls are in the middle of the street taking naps, and they're sacred, so they claim the roadways, and we get there eventually. And but it's wonderful to become part of a diverse culture and adapt to what their traditions are. It's fantastic, and I have a great deal of respect for all of the different countries that we go to.
The food's pretty amazing too in a lot of these spots.
The food is amazing. The food is amazing. Yes.
How much of your business how much of the total exclusive brands business is happening with direct overseas partners versus domestic partners?
It fluctuates, but I'd say right now we're at about 55% overseas, 45% domestic. That swings from season to season, just depending on where we can create the best opportunity. Sometimes it's better to go direct overseas because we're working directly with the factory, and you're not having to pay middleman charges, and we import our own products. But sometimes it's more beneficial to go to a domestic provider because they may specialize in a certain fabrication or technique, like swimwear, or maybe there's an incredible program that we can. They just have incredible deals because they're producing 80 or 100 and 1,000 units of a particular fabric, and we can utilize and leverage our negotiation with that production and create our own products, leveraging the capabilities that they have with the factory. So it really just depends on the unique situation that we're sourcing.
Yeah, for sure. And could you define for the audience a domestic partner, so a vendor that's based out of this country that's set up for sourcing, that happens to be working with a factory overseas? I mean, how else
That's
would
correct.
you?
Yeah. It's working with a vendor. We'll go to New York. We'll have a
vendor like who give a
Castlewood is one of our vendors that you're wearing RB3 right now.
Right.
Castlewood is a strong contributor for us in RB3 activewear, a very successful business for us in men's and in ladies.
Castlewood does New Balance, and
they do New Balance. They also do production for ASICs. They have American Outdoorsman.
Yeah.
And
RB3.
And RB3, right? And we also buy some items for them for our Real Legends brand. We have some pants, and we have some lightweight outerwear pieces that they specialize in.
Yeah,
that are very strong for that.
They do a good job. Really, all of our domestic partners do such a good job.
They also have a brand that they launched just a few years ago. This kind of goes back to the Rewind Replay. It's called Ocean Pacific. I don't know if you remember that brand.
I do. OP when I was a kid was huge. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
Yeah. So they have that brand as well that they're trying to get going.
I bet they would be good at that one. That was a cool brand when I was a kid, man.
Yeah.
Surf brand, yeah.
Yeah. But, speaking of, some of our partnerships, what's pretty cool is whether we are visiting with our domestic partners or whether we're going overseas, like we're in factories that produce, like I'll be in a factory and I see Tommy Bahama coming off of the production line. And then right after their products are coming off the line, ours are staged getting ready to go onto production line. Real Legends right behind Tommy Bahama. I've also seen, Perry Ellis in our factories and Under Armour and Columbia. These are where we are. Their sewing machines are making the same product as national brands as our exclusive brands.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, no, the quality that you've been able to you've been able to really enhance our quality over the last bunch of years. I feel like that we really put an emphasis on that probably about 8-10 years ago, and I think
Right.
that you've done a really really nice job
Good.
personally, and your
Thank
team,
you.
of course.
Thank you. Oh, it is. It's all about the team, and it's really it's prioritizing that, because we want to be able to deliver incredible value, not just at a great price, but we also want to have the garment is something that we really want to be proud of,
Right.
and for us to wear.
Right.
I'm glad that you're really happy
Dude,
wearing
this is
your Real
amazing.
Legends
It
and
feels
your.
so good. I mean, there's a reason why
RP3.
I use Real Legends a lot at home. I use it for like my outdoor stuff when I'm working in the
Right.
yard or mowing or doing yard work
Right.
basically. I wear it out as well, but it's phenomenal for being outside in the
Oh,
sun,
absolutely.
in the heat, moisture wicking, all of that stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean that's why it's Florida's #1 fishing brand. It's in terms of volume in the state of Florida, just because it's you talked about value. I mean,
Right.
you can't get that type of quality at that value in any other brand, in any other performance brand.
You can't.
Certainly
can't.
not fishing brand out there. So yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Good.
Well, good. Okay,
Good.
yeah. Well, let's keep walking through the process a little bit if we could. Yeah.
So after we get through rush hour and we actually make it to the factory, this was one particular visit. Again, this is an India factory. And what was a great surprise about this factory is, they are ahead of the curve on sustainability. They have been in the sustainability business before sustainability became popular. And the first thing that we did is we arrived and we're getting ready to go through the facilities, and they hand me a shovel, and they go, "We need you to plant a tree." And I'm like, well, this is pretty awesome. So we planted trees, and the purpose for this is reforestation. And around their campus, their factory campus, they believe in doing whatever they can to purify the air quality. And reforestation is a technique whereby they have like 3 to 5,000 trees in just an 8,000 square foot area. And it really helps that recycling of clean air in the factory. And it's neat because, then they put Bealls' little sign on that. I can't wait to go back to India to see how big my tree is.
Nice.
Yeah. So this factory is also
all native trees. I'm assuming
Yes.
they're not pumping water out of the ground to water non-native trees. You guys are planting all native stuff.
Absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely.
We don't do that as much in Florida as we should, I don't feel like.
I know. I hear you. And so this factory is powered by wind power. They have a wind power plant that is on the coast of India. The power comes into the factory, and whatever energy they don't use for the factory, whatever's left over, they sell to the government. And then this factory also has its own water treatment facility. So all of the dyeing techniques, all of the water is 100% circulated so that it is used back into the production of the goods. So this factory is definitely ahead of the curve and very sustainable, and great business partners.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Now, of the worldwide factories,
Mhm.
I mean, like this one's obviously going to be up there in terms
Right.
of.
This is a poster child factory.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. I would say that it's gaining in popularity.
Yeah.
It's a small percentage.
It's not mandated by law, right? I mean,
It is not. No.
And so they're doing this to try to attract people that care about the environment. That
Absolutely. And I will
because
tell
they
you,
care, of course.
and this is genuine. Like this factory is doing this because, in India, it's about their culture. You get back what you give. And in this factory, it's not a front to say, hey, look what we're doing. We're cool, and it's a marketing ploy.
Right.
It's not, they don't do this for the headline news. They do it because they genuinely believe in this is the right thing to do for the earth and with the time that they have here. And so, again, this has been in place for years before sustainability became really in a big deal for everybody to start to pay attention to.
Nice.
So, I would say, to answer your question, how many factories are participating in this, I'd say it's a much smaller percent, 20% or less.
Yeah.
And we are working with our factories. We are building a sustainability initiative within our exclusive brands world, our product development world. We have a people, product, Planet initiative, and our factories, we are requesting that, let's talk about what you're doing because we want to feel proud that our clothes, our home products are being produced in your factories, and what are you doing to contribute to making the world a better place?
Right.
And they definitely have the message. Not just from us, but many retailers are requiring or requesting that they start to put things in place, whether it be solar power, recycled water, various techniques of conservation, like here, reforestation. What are you guys doing to, be sustainably conscious? And it's on the radar. Definitely on the radar. And I know that some factories are actually building new facilities as their business expands, and those facilities are fully solar panel.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Nice. Good. Okay. Yeah, I know we've made tremendous progress as a company over the last couple of years as it relates to the sustainability in that
Mm-hmm.
topic. It wasn't something that we were focused on until honestly, probably around the time I took over as CEO.
Right.
It wasn't a focus for us, and it's not a focus for most companies out there. But we decided to make it a focus, and I really appreciate the work that you're continuing to do on this. It makes a difference.
Right, and I think that is an opportunity for us as an organization, even as we're developing our products. We're looking for materials that are more natural and less synthetic. So you're kind of a little bit of an oxymoron right now because
What'd you call me?
An oxymoron.
Oh, okay.
You're It's not 4 letters.
I am not an oxy. Let's just get that straight. Sorry,
you're like business up front and party down below, but
right,
you've got your natural 100% cotton thermal Real Legends shirt up top that is, it's a natural fiber.
Yeah.
So that's why you're like, God, this is so soft and amazing.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And then your pant is more of a synthetic.
Right.
You're going to have a little bit more performance features with that. They both have performance features, but they're different.
Yep.
And so you're very sustainable up here.
Yep. Cool. Love it.
I'm very comfortable both,
Absolutely. Yeah. These could double for jammies.
Sorry, I called you an oxymoron.
No, it's all good. I got over it. I've moved on.
So when you put the whole product development cycle together, you have your design, your art, you have your science from your production and your sourcing team. Then you put it all together and, it's kind of like a Reese's peanut butter cup. 2 great tastes taste great together.
Yep.
And we do have a little bit of a video clip that kind of just highlights, sometimes a picture's worth 1,000 words. And we put together an iMovie that just highlights what our design team does. We've got some buyers in the photo. We have our print designers in this video. We have our sourcing teams, some overseas factories. So it kind of just puts the whole summary together of product development in about 30 seconds.
Cool. Let's
take a look?
Check it out. Yeah.
So design, concept, collaboration with our merchants.
Yep. I know these people.
Yeah.
Craig
is one of our Craig is our print design manager.
Yeah.
Chloe, our technical design team that measures and fits the products.
Nice. Yeah, let's give some
Here
shout outs.
Overseas. Joyce is overseas inspecting, making sure that they are compliant with our standards. We do like to see happy factory workers.
Mm-hmm.
There's Fiona and Joyce in Indonesia, getting very excited for our Real Legends product coming off of the production lines. This was in our June trip. There's some Coral Bay. There we go.
Love it.
Right.
Nicely done.
So an incredible team. Again, I'm super proud of all of the contributors on our team. Our
We're not
domestic.
going to get sued for Mission Possible, right?
Pardon?
We're not going to get sued for Mission Possible.
No,
Oh.
no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Because it is Mission Possible. It's not Mission Impossible.
Right. Okay. All right. As long as that's enough variation. Good. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So again, bringing the art and the science together, bringing the collaborative efforts. I think, honestly think product development, our exclusive brand strategies is the highest collaborative position in the company because it really requires the support of our buying partners, our planning partners, marketing, e-commerce, vendors, whether they are in the United States and based out of New York, or whether we're going overseas and traveling to various countries. Transportation, import transportation, domestic inbound transportation.
Logistics and stores.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Really
yeah. We're like part of a hub of a great wheel.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Yeah.
no doubt.
Yeah,
right.
good.
Excellent.
So now just can give you some ideas of how our product development.
The cups, yes.
Yeah, our stainless steel drinkware. Cool thing about what we do is we actually have in-house production of our drinkware. We import the blanks and we store them, and this gives us the capability of being speed to market with our guests. So again, all of the artwork that you see in this particular slide, created by our in-house design team. We can range from unique abstract to tropicals and oceanics, school team colors, outdoor fishing. That lane was some unique artwork that created for our Lake Okeechobee store.
Mm-hmm.
We and also our UAPs. So we have an initiative out in Roswell, and we have drinkware that specifically caters to unique localization initiatives.
Love it.
And this is, an example of the range of the types of artwork that our designers can create.
That mosaic is freaking cool, by the way, because you can feel it. It pops off of the cup itself.
Yeah.
Anywhere you see gray, it's like the cup, and then the paint is popped off.
I know,
really
it's fantastic, and it
that
actually
was Craig, right?
Craig.
Yeah,
He's our Craig Weiskarger. He's our print design manager,
Yeah.
and he created the artwork for this. All of those cups that are the part of the unique abstract were part of our company rebranding initiative that we just wanted to celebrate and give our artists an opportunity to think outside the box and come up with something that was just embracing change and embracing connecting and just super talented teams. And our in-house production gives us various techniques with our printer. We can spot, highlight something and make it glossy, or we can, give it some texture and make it feel like that little gator. It's gator colors. It's not a logo gator, but that actually feels like a little football when you actually touch the cup. So the printing techniques are very unique and diverse to give us different impressions on the drinkware.
Speaking of getting sued, you're walking a tightrope here with this.
I do. I like to live on the edge.
Tell Craig to do some more mosaics, because those are freaking cool.
They are
He
awesome.
really knocked that one out of the park. And love the UAP stuff. That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
right.
And not just Roswell. I mean, people are finally all over the world now. People are finally starting to pick up on that one. So it's good to see.
Yeah, exciting.
Yep.
So yeah, again, we have our own in-house facility, and so this gives us an opportunity. If you want, we can talk about some of the new brands that are most recently launching this year.
Let's do it.
Have launched.
Yep.
So I've talked a little bit about apparel. I've talked a little bit about home. We have a really exciting new brand called Zest.
Yep.
Zest Kitchen and Home. This brand was created in partnership with Chef Alexis Bell Taylor,
Yep.
your sister. She has an amazing cookbook. She's an incredible chef. The food is just delicious. And we have, in collaboration with Alexis and team, created a brand that is very easygoing with an authentic, natural Florida lifestyle. We have a brand that currently exists called Coastal Home, and that's really bright colors and high intensity of color. If you think of the colors of like the flamingos and, it's bright pinks and corals and teals, we felt like, well, we also have a guest that may want something that's a little bit more natural and serene. And like, if you close your eyes and you think of, I'm sitting on my couch and I've opened up the doors to the lanai and the wind is blowing in, what does that feel like? And we really came up with this essence of zest, because zest is like living life to your fullest. It's when you put your whole heart and your soul into it. And this has that feeling of of fresh air, serene, natural products. And we want to embrace the color story of the sand, the sea, and the sun. And Zest is that more natural, fluid, relaxing, breezy type of feel in your home furnishings. And we have it in the bed and the bath and the kitchen. We have cookware. And we just launched this brand. Like, this brand is like 2 months old.
Yeah.
That's it.
It looks really good in stores. It's kind of spread out. It's not pulled together
Right.
yet, and maybe that's something that we ought to think about doing at some point. But
Right.
but the brand looks amazing and the product looks amazing and it looks different than anything else that we have really in the store. So I'm excited about this.
I know.
think it
I know.
could be a good big deal.
Yeah. This weekend, I'm excited because I'm actually going to go buy some cookware this weekend.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's quality stuff too.
It really is.
And yeah, besides just being quality, I mean, it's more updated, it's more modern, it's
Mhm.
more it's more updated and modern than a lot of our other looks are right
Right.
now in that area. And so
Exactly.
it sticks out
Right.
in a good way.
Yeah, absolutely. And it gives us an opportunity again to maybe attract guests that currently aren't aware of Bealls or what Bealls carries.
Right.
But it also, satisfies the needs of our existing customer too, who are looking for that more clean, elegant, serene type of soft feeling of zest,
Right.
and putting your whole heart and soul into your home. Home is where the heart is. It's
Right.
the center of the family, and it's really bringing in that freshness so that it brings a positive energy.
Yeah. Well said.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's talk for just a minute about Real Legends.
Let's do it.
This has been an exciting, as you mentioned before, it's our top brand in the company,
Yep.
and has really primarily been focused on fishing and performance. So water performance, UPF, sun protection, wicking, and just great performance features when you're out in the sun and in the elements. And this slide just gives you, just an overview rendering of our ladies and our men's apparel, really designed to be authentic brand for the outdoor performance. And this brand was focused on living life, like whether you're on the boat, on the beach, in a kayak, Central Florida, or on the ocean.
It's
But
about 8% of our total business now, something like that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I would say yes. Yes, I would say that this is
7, 8.
yeah, and to total product development, this brand is probably closer to 20% of our business.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
And so what we decided is, how do we continue to grow? Because we definitely want this to be a performance brand for us. But what if I'm not out on a boat fishing, or what if I, just I'm hiking trails, and I still want to be more protected against the elements, and some of this is great for being in high beating sun. But like what you're wearing right now is more for casual wear. It's still a performance garment, but it's not prepared for the ocean, basically.
Right.
So then we created this brand called also Real Legends. We're calling it Land internally, just so that we can help decipher what we're designing and what we're talking to our internal partners about. It's still called Real Legends, and that's on the next slide. And this piece is really to support people who are just enjoying life outside. This can be sportswear, but you could also, it's built to support you if you want to go camping, or if you want to go trail bike riding, or hiking. And again, we really wanted to create an item, an assortment that caters using natural fibers. So in this assortment, you're going to see cotton, 100% cotton. What you're wearing is 100% cotton right now. And that has natural, breathable qualities. We also have in this assortment bamboo. There's a beautiful, delicious ladies top that is just cinched in the back, and it's beautiful, and it's made out of bamboo. And that has, just natural wicking capabilities, and it's also very breathable. Like, you're going to want to sleep. Crystal's going to want to sleep in that one. She'll wear it, all day long. And we're also incorporating hemp. So we've done a lot of creative, unique research to try to figure out how to bring natural fibers into this assortment. Again, part of the sustainability. It takes less water to produce hemp. When we started working with that, it comes from the cannabis plant. People have joked, "Hey, can I roll up my shorts and smoke them?"
It's legal in 23 states.
Absolutely, right? Yeah. It's just a line that is just very comfortable, and it reflects that more. I'm going to go trail hiking. So we really want Real Legends to be that brand that takes care of all of your outdoor needs. So when you're getting ready to go on vacation, whether you're going on a boat, whether you're going to the beach, or whether you're living life off of the water, we've got an assortment that can cater to your specific needs.
So what about, can you talk a little bit about the UPF or SPF? I know that we have that on a number of our garments now.
The Skin Cancer Foundation.
Yeah, Skin Cancer Foundation. Is that going to be on some products on land as well?
Yeah. Yes, it is. We do partner. We have a great partnership with the Skin Cancer Foundation, and we work with them. We have proceeds that contribute to the Cancer Foundation, but we also work with their teams to have products tested so that we'll know, okay, is this a 30 UPF? Is it a 50 UPF? And we go through quite an extensive laboratory testing and work with the foundation to ensure that if you wear this garment, you can feel comfortable that it's endorsed, it's proven, it's tested, and it's validated to protect you from the elements.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So the Skin Cancer Foundation, you'll see that endorsement across our land assortment and across our water assortment.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, with the newness coming up, with Zest hitting our floor, land is just hitting our floor right now. Super exciting things happening. And we also have some other things that we're working on, reinvigorating. And, I actually have a question for you, because one of the brands that we're reinvigorating is, there's two actually, Maori Hook and Chubby Mermaids. And I know that you were in the product development seat when these brands were created.
Yeah, man, those are my babies.
So, okay, I know there's got to be a good story behind both of these names. So how did Maori Hook come about?
Yeah, Maori Hook, actually. So I got married in 2017 and went on our honeymoon, and we went to the French Polynesian world and had an amazing honeymoon. And the brand was born from that trip. I'd never been to that part of the world. And so the Maori people are obviously an incredible civilization. And so it felt like there were so many surf brands out there that were in existence.
Right.
And none of them were French Polynesian surf, for lack of a better word.
Right.
We didn't have that kind of the sharks and the turtles and the tattoo art and more native kind of inspired as opposed to and for us being a lot of our business being done in the state of Florida or on the coast, it felt like that was a huge miss, and it felt like a huge opportunity. Now that I'm saying this publicly, I'm sure there's going to be 5 other retailers that go out and call it whatever Maori whatever and create their own exclusive brand. So we got to get out in front of them a little bit now.
Absolutely.
Make sure we get this thing back and going. But yeah, we had a good launch back in 2017. It was really a hot brand for quite some time there, and I think we just we didn't continue to innovate. I would say as it relates to the brand and continue to make it interesting. So I'm excited to see that you guys are bringing it back and you're going to put a little bit more effort into that brand and what it could ultimately be.
So this will give us a great follow up for a second segment, and I can provide you with some updates on what's going on with that brand.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's it was designed to be younger. It was designed to be cool. It was designed, tattoo inspired sleeves, you got the arm sleeves. So yeah, it's a really fun brand. Well, if we do it right. And I'm excited that we're going to.
I know. And the team is having a blast working on this brand. I mean, we have books that we've purchased so that we can make sure that we are, respectful to the Polynesian culture, and to make sure that the lines of the tattoo art that we're creating, it's not just cool looking tattoo art. Like each line and each channel and the placement of it means a different thing. And so we really want to be authentic and fully respectful to the culture, and really bring that to life. So the designers are working on projects that, when they were in art school, they're like, I had no idea I was going to be, doing this type of extensive research to create a brand or relaunch a brand. So the teams are very excited for it. And this is a brand that we're also working on trying to make supportive of sustainability, 100% authentic products using less water. So this is a heavy scientific project for us, and this is why it's taking a little bit longer. But we're very excited for the opportunity, and we want the factories that we're working with to be supportive of these efforts too.
Cool.
So, so here's a question for you.
Sure.
So the next brand that we're also working on rebranding and getting ready to relaunch is Chubby Mermaids.
Yeah.
Now, I know this also, I think, was under the Matt Bell realm,
It
right?
was, yeah.
So tell me, where did Chubby Mermaids come from?
Chubby Mermaids.
I'm sorry, I just have to laugh because when I say Chubby Mermaids, I'm like, is that really a brand?
Yeah, it is. It's our brand.
Yeah, I know.
I was shocked when it was available, to be honest with you, because I'd seen
Right.
Chubby Mermaids T-shirts out here and there, and we went and we looked, and we found that Chubby Mermaids as a brand was actually available to be registered, and
Right.
so we registered it, and I felt like it would be a really fun kind of screen T-shirt program
Yep.
for us, and ultimately potentially grow into something bigger. But Chubby Mermaids is, of course, a funny word for manatees,
Right.
and Bealls, as a company, we grew up on the Manatee River. I grew up on the Manatee River, actually, just as a child, and here in Bradenton, and so there's a lot of our history that goes there. Having our first store right there in downtown Bradenton on the river, it kind of paid a little bit of homage towards our history and
Right.
towards our hometown, and thought that it would be kind of a cool and fun and a little bit of a younger and maybe more of have a little bit more attitude as a brand than some of the other brands, some of the other beach and water brands that we had. So
Right.
that was kind of most of the idea behind
Yeah.
it.
I think it's a brilliant idea, and I'm super excited that we're reinvigorating this concept and bringing Chubby Mermaids back. So, that's going to be an opportunity as we move into 2024. That will be a great. This is where we can bring that uniqueness and that specialty to our guests, and that'll cater to a lot of audiences that are out there. It'll cater to our families that shop our businesses year round. We have a vacation guest that visits us, after school's out. And then our winter guests that come through and spend 6 months in Florida. Like, I think Chubby Mermaids is a fantastic brand for so many folks who shop Bealls.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super excited.
Yep. Cool.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, I have another question for you. So when you were, in the product development, just focused on the product development position, do you have any funny stories that you're like, gosh, if I hadn't been in product development, this would have never happened to me? Any, I know I'm putting you on the spot right now, but any unique stories that could have been a cultural difference or something that just gave you a sense of pause, like, did that really just happen?
Yeah. It's a really good question. I am such not a storyteller. I'm really not. And my memory is, my brain's good at a lot of stuff, and memory recall from years ago is not one of those things, but I guess, I just enjoyed it. Like you said, I mean, it was so much fun to be in the area and to be creating and to be working with the team and to be trying on the products and, changing up the specs of the merchandise so that I think we were extremely baggy on most of the stuff that we were creating for a very long period of time, and I think we tightened that up to a much better degree. But just working on that creative side, all of our brains have that scientific side and the math, and then we have our creative side, and so to be able to use that at work, working with people was just a tremendous amount of fun.
And the collaboration, like you say. So speaking of stories, you just jogged my memory now on something, the collaborative piece of all of this. So here's a story. We're overseas, and this was before COVID.
Okay.
And I'm in a car with our agents, and we're getting ready to go. And we have several factories that we're going to be visiting in that day. And that day was designated for home, so we were sourcing textiles at that point, like tree skirts for Christmas tree skirts and stockings and decorative pillows and things like that. So that's what this day was designated for. And it's probably like 9:30 in the morning overseas. So morning time overseas, nighttime here in the States. And my phone rings, and it's one of our DMMs, Sophia Chen, is calling me, and I'm in this tight van with all these people around me. And so she's probably having dinner. I'm getting ready to go to our first appointment. And she says, "Hey, Teri, we just heard about this one factory, and while you're over in this particular country, we know that they are located in that country." And I'm like saying, "Hey, while you're in the United States," so she says,
Right.
while you're in this country, can you look up this vendor? Can you see them while you're there? I know you're there." And I'm going, "Wow, that's really trying." Let me see.
Yeah.
Right. And so I took the information down of the resource, and I look at my agent and I go, "Hey, Dolly, can we add this? Can you check and see where this factory is? Because we'd like to add them to our list today." I'll never forget Dolly's face. She looked at me and she said, "Teri, that is humanly impossible. Humanly impossible." And she said it with such conviction. And I'm just like, "Okay, so let's just see though. Let's see where the factory is. I hear what you're saying." And I'm like, "You never know. Maybe it's like within 30 minutes of another factory that we're visiting." Because a lot of these factories are centrally located. And, after she got her eyes rolled back into position and not in the back of her head, they did some research. And by the time we were done with the next appointment, she says, "Well, you're not going to believe this, but the factory that you're looking for, we've actually, our other fellows from our offices have been trying to contact with them, and they're 5 minutes from the next factory."
Wow.
So we went and we started a whole new relationship, walked in cold turkey, introduced ourselves to this factory, and they're like, "Oh, fantastic. We know exactly who you are. We know Bealls. We know," and so we walked in and we started a great opportunity with them in creating decor pillows. So that talks about the collaborative efforts of what we're doing, and it really makes that world a smaller place. But
No doubt. Yeah.
yeah, super exciting stuff.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. It's a fun job you have.
Yeah,
For sure. Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being on the show today. I think it's going to be very educational for people to see this and to learn a little bit more about what we do.
Oh, it's been fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, you guys do such an incredible job, and I would just encourage the audience to come and check out Bealls Florida and Bealls, and to check out our exclusive brands and to see how they've changed over the years. Because again, I think
Sure.
that you've really done a tremendous job.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, over the
Yeah.
years. So
Excellent.
yeah, and thanks for coming on
It's
the
been
show.
great. I appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely.
All
Absolutely.
right.
All right. Thanks, Teri.
Awesome.
Appreciate it very much.
Thanks, Matt.
Yep.